Are you tired of doing the same journals over and over again without making sales? Low content publishing is highly competitive and easy to get drowned out with. That is, unless you know what products to make and stand out with. If you're new to the channel or new to passive income, then welcome. My name is Sarah, and this is I Publish Ghostwriters. On this channel, we're here to help you create passive income that works for you, especially when it comes to online publishing. We've published hundreds of books in dozens of different languages on Amazon, KDP, Ingram Spark, Audible, and tons more. The content we create is to help you do the same thing and achieve the sort of financial freedom that passive income can bring. As always, if you like this video or you want to see more like it, go ahead and leave a like down below so that we can provide you with the kind of content that you want to see. And if you want more videos like this, or on passive income, make sure you subscribe to the channel and turn on post notifications. That way you never miss a single video. We're always trying new things so that we can bring you the best tips, tricks, and tutorials. So you're going to want to stay dialed in. Hey everyone! Today we're going to dive into 10 of the best low content niches to get into. These are easy to create and are currently making great sales with relatively low competition. So whether you're a seasoned publisher on Amazon KDP or someone just getting their start and looking to break into this online, then follow along as we go through those 10 great options. First off, I'm going to do a quick recap on what I mean by low content. If you've been around for a while, you're probably well acquainted with the term, but if you're new to the process and haven't heard of this before, well, welcome in. Low content books are the ones without any words or writing in them. The most common are the ones that people are most acquainted with. These are the plain line notebooks and journals that you can get just about anywhere. They're easy to make, and if you want a tutorial on that, I'll make sure to link it up above so that you can get used to that process. Low content is easy to get into, but sometimes it's kind of hard to stand out. Truthfully, if you have the right tools, then that isn't always true though. You want to find those niches within the low content that have high search volume and low competition, and then come in and offer something of value. In low content, there is so much competition that simply pricing your items at a low price point won't help you. In a lot of cases, it might actually hurt your business. Low pricing is often seen as low quality, even if it's not. So you need to focus on providing something of value to your new audience, more than just using the same interior and slapping a new cover on it over and over. This could net you a couple sales if your covers are really good, but more often than not, you're going to be drowned out by other people's marketing budget outbidding you. So get ready, make sure you subscribe with post notifications turned on, and let's get into it. Okay, so the first one we're going to look at today, I have signed out of my account so that we can get a better look at what is actually being offered and shown to you. The better way to do this is to actually open up a private browser so that it can't track any of your movements. But for now, let's take a look at this. We are going to start with scissor skills. I'm going to blanket say that there are a lot of scissor skill books out there, but that doesn't mean that there aren't a lot of opportunities within it. So let's take a look at what it has for options for you. And alright, so here we have scissor skill books. You can see that there are around 3,000 results for it. That is not terribly high. You will see what I mean. I'm going to look up journals just so you can see. Scissor skills are simple. You know, all you're offering to the audience, which are children, is something to cut out some fine motor skills, essentially. And let's take a look at what that looks like. I do want to make sure we're looking at an independently published one rather than one that is backed. So let's take a look at this one. Let's see. All right, independently published. This was published April of last year, so hasn't been out too long. It is doing pretty good on that first page. And then you see right here, it gives you some practice lines. And these are kind of what the insides look like. You can get these done really simply on Fiverr. You can order them in a package. 50 pages is not a whole lot. Very simple drawings. They are for small children. You can see their description is simple. The pricing is around that $6 mark, which means they're probably making about $1 per printed copy. Obviously, this is only a paperback. You can't really get these in ebook, but obviously. See another one. Let's see, is this one independent? Yep, January of last year. Doing pretty good. Yeah, it's doing really good. All right, and then you see here, same thing, practice lines. You got some drawings here. They're very simple. You can definitely, if you offer 50 pages, it can be as big as 100 pages long, because you're going to want an empty page on the back, because it's going to be cut out. And these are pretty easy to set up. You can definitely get the pictures done even without the lines and just add the lines in yourself on Canva or another program. But that is scissor skills. I mean, obviously these are really simple. These are for small children. You can target general, you can target girls, you can target boys, you can target toddlers, small children in general, things like that. And there you go. So the next one we're going to be looking at today is calligraphy practice books. So I'm looking it up with you, but I did do the research beforehand, so search that one up. Now, again, you're going to want to make sure you are looking at independently published. Again, there's only 2,000 results here. This is a great one to get started in. They are simple, so let's take a look at right around the same price point. Let's see. No, I don't think that. Again, I am just looking for one that is independently published, which you can generally tell just by like the cover and stuff. Let's see what this one is. All right, independently published, November of last year. It's doing okay. There's not a whole lot of competition. There's even less competition on this niche versus even scissor skills at 3,000. So let's get a look at the inside on this one. If Amazon wants to open that up. All right, and then you can see here, this is just lines for people to practice their calligraphy. These are super easy to make. They are simple pages, and you are providing somebody with a notebook to work on. It is similar to handwriting books for children. However, the calligraphy is one of those things that adults will want to do. So this is a great one that you can target multiple different audiences with a very similar interior and have very much lower competition. So there wasn't a whole lot of independently published to look at, but that is a really good example of it. And then the next one we're going to look at is dot grid notebooks. Now, you might know these as bullet journals, but that is trademarked, so you're going to want to call it dot grid notebook. With these dot grid notebooks, you have a lot of options. You can make them completely just simple, which makes it really easy to target just about any keywords or audiences, or you can make them a little bit more stylized, a little bit more geared towards. Now, I'm not seeing a ton that look immediately stylized or like independently published books, but here you go. You've got 1,000 results. We're going to open up books because that usually simplifies down the search, and we can see what other people are making. It is taking a second to load. There we go. Yeah, these are pretty simple. You can see, like, this one looks really, like, you've got some art on there. You can find these things on Creative Fabrica, Vecteezy, or any of the things that we've used. And then I could just use Canva, just put a box that says dot grid notebook, make it look like a composition notebook. That means people will want to get it for every day because it doesn't immediately scream notebook or journal. I think this one looks... I don't love the cover on this one, it's fine. It will absolutely get people's attention. But this did look like, independently published. This one is a little bit lower on the, significantly lower on the rankings, but that is okay. Let's take a look at the inside just so you can see. It's just going to be dots. These are great for bullet journals or bullet journal type activity. Let's see what else they have on here, just to see what other things that they're publishing. So, it kind of looks like they've just got their start. January 2022. This is a recently started thing. They are probably branching out, starting to try new things. The last one published just a couple days ago. It is January 29th now, so the 22nd. Yeah, see logbooks. But this is a great way to start. These dot grid notebooks don't have a ton of competition yet, so you could probably get yourself in. And if you are providing something that is a little bit more eye-catching, a little bit more professional looking, then you're going to stand out. So that's a great place to start there. The next one we're going to look at are isometric graph paper. $20,000 results. This one is a bit more competitive. Isometric graph paper is a little bit different than normal graph paper, so you are targeting a much more niche audience. I do want to make sure that we're looking, again, I always want to make sure we're looking at independently published, because something with a ton of reviews or something that is backed by a huge publishing company is going to do a bit better. So you want to make sure that you are comparing yourself fairly. Let's take a look at this. This does look pretty much independently published. You can usually tell when it's not like a book or a 3D model. Let's make sure. Yep. Published September 2020, and it's doing okay. It's actually doing really well in things like scientific measurement. Still significantly better in just books. So let's open that up. You take a look. It is a bit different than regular graph paper. That is, you are targeting a completely different niche. These are great for scientific measurements, like I said. So you do have a bit more competition in this niche, but that doesn't mean that you can't provide something that, these are all pretty simple. This is the first one that I've seen that actually looks stylized. So if you're providing something and targeting a specific audience, you might do better. The next one we're looking at is sketchbooks. Now, the thing with sketchbooks is you might be imagining something that you go to Michael's and pick up and it's completely empty. You cannot publish empty things on Amazon KDP. That doesn't mean that there isn't the options to make sketchbooks, but you gotta make them a little bit different. Let's take a look at what that looks like here. I think this is... I'm gonna look at the one right below it as well, because that one's a bestseller. Yeah, this one's a little bit lower in the rankings, but that's okay. Let's take a look at what's inside. It does not show. That's okay. Okay, so this next one here, this one, #1 bestseller. It's doing really well. Let's see if it is. It's independently published. It's been out since 2019. It is a nice stylized cover. Somebody that was looking for something a little bit more artsy would definitely target this one. And when you look on the inside, this one actually does have a little bit inside. I looked just to make sure. And it has a line. That's it. That is the only thing that makes it not empty. So if you need to create one page, copy it 100 times, and then you have a 100-page sketchbook. And that is simple. This one is doing really well, actually. This is doing number 1 in squash books. Huh. Interesting. It's doing really well in books that are about sports. It's actually not the only one on here. So that is super interesting. Okay, good for them. Let's go back to this one real quick. And I kind of want to see what else, if they have anything else that's for sale. Now it is an author name. They have sketchbooks. Alright. Got a bunch of sketchbooks, some activity books, things like that. I'm going to look at another one of their sketchbooks. Similar, sort of a marbled cover. Let's see the inside. I'm pretty sure it's going to be the same. It is exactly the same. Okay. And okay, this one is ranking in vegetarian cooking. All right. It's interesting. Whether that is helping their sales does depend, because when we look at, let's see, sketchbooks again. There are a decent amount to go off of. So you're going to want to niche down when you're doing sketchbooks. You're going to want to target specific audiences. Let's see, sketchbook for artists. That took off 10,000. Sketchbook for women. Same. When you do it and you niche down, you're going to cut off a bit of your competition. And then at that point, it is just a matter of having a valuable cover and having something that catches people's eyes. Things like this definitely is going to appeal to a kid. Whereas, let's say the last one I had was for students. It gives you fashion students. Let's actually look up sketchbook, fashion students. Takes it down to just 5,000 results. So, like I said, niching down is going to be important, but sketchbooks are a great opportunity. And they will continue to be because people are always drawing. So, the next one we're going to be looking at just regular graph paper. There are tons of options. You probably already know what this looks like. This is different from the isometric graph paper that we looked at before. This is a bit more versatile and less specific. Graph paper for students, graph paper notebook for men, women, children, students, science, math, things like that. This one looks decently independent. Pretty sure. Yeah, published November 26th. This one is doing really well in things like engineering. Just because it's doing well in these doesn't mean that's actually helping the sales necessarily, just because it has a couple of sales and is targeting these. But in that one case, I did click on that one that said bestseller. So, simple. You just need to make one page. These are going to be a little bit more specific because you're going to want to make sure that the page that you are creating is, it is specific enough to the measurements are correct, because people are going to be using these for things like math or science or actual measurements versus a dot grid notebook, which obviously you want to try and make it, but it's not going to need to be as precise. So you want to make sure you do one page correctly and then just copy it as many times as you want. This can be used 100 different times for 100 different audiences, different covers, things like that. So it's just a matter of making the one and seeing what sticks. After this one, we're going to be looking at kanji practice paper notebook. Just going to look up practice notebook. And we're going to look right here. We have 20,000 results. We do have a good amount. However, you have a good opportunity here to offer something that somebody, wants to look at while they're learning Japanese. You can target something for kids or students. You can make something a little bit prettier that like an adult would buy for themselves or as a gift. This is great. Let's look. Let's see if we can see an independently published one so that you can see what that kind of looks like. Yep, July 13th. There you go. Again, you really just have to have 2 pages and repeat them over and over. And you can have multiple covers. Let's see if they have any others. Yep. And they go to meal planners, things like that. So once you make your one cover, you can have, say this person immediately has 5. They just made one cover and switched out, or one interior and then switched out the cover a bunch of times and had the same thing over and over again. Even if they only sell a couple of these, you are targeting people that are interested in different kinds of art and might not realize it's all by the same publisher. So the next one we are going to be looking at visitor logbooks. I have covered them before on the channel because this is a relatively popular but not too high niche. Still in the 30,000 range. These are visitor logbooks. And I'm going to look at a couple other different logbooks, but visitor logbooks alone is a solid thing that somebody is going to buy. So for like events, you've got, let's see, event logbooks, which do have a bit more results. Let's see, event. I apparently can't type today. Only got 10,000 results if you target things like all of those keywords. Event, visitor. Let's see, there is wedding. 50,000 results. You've still got a good amount of competition there. Wedding visitor logbook, however, only 5,000 results. You're going to see a lot of the same thing. You've got security visitor logbooks, you've got guest book sign-in, you've got Val renewal guest book. Once you have one interior, it is just lines for people to sign their name and say, I was here. When people are doing like do-it-yourself weddings, these are really good and low cost for them to try. You can have a couple, like 100 pages, which is probably more than anybody is going to need in this case. But you're providing them sort of a keepsake item. Let's see, there was one logbook alone is going to be the keyword that you're targeting, and these are different ideas. This has 50,000 results. You've got mileage logbook, workout logbook. Again, since like mileage logbook, workout logbook, any sort of practice logbook, they're going to be much more results. So you can see this has 60,000 results. However, let's see, for women, slightly less. If you add in a meal planner to go with the workout log, you make it a weight loss journal. You can target all of these keywords and then make a bigger keyword like a weight loss. This one here, let's take a look at this, see if it's independently published first. Yes, February 16th, 2021. It is doing really well in bed and breakfast travel reference. Cool. Vegan diets, books, 2,000 in books, which is still really good because we've seen some that are in the millions. So This one is doing really well, so let's take a look at what they have on the inside just so you can get an idea of what a weight loss journal might look like and how simple this can be, you know? You are providing that. This is similar to like if you look up on Pinterest. I've done that on another video. Things like bullet journal templates. You can recreate those and make a book out of them so that people who would normally use those or use the templates off of Pinterest now have a book with that. Clearly, you are providing something that people are interested in. So that's a good place to start if you're trying to figure out what to put together, because this one's a little bit more like medium content-ish. While you're still not creating content, you are providing a guided content experience. So this one's a little bit more convoluted, but something like this is going to do well. It's going to do well at certain times of the year as we get closer to summer. It's going to do well towards the new year when people start doing their New Year's resolutions, things like that. But it does well. So the next one, and we only have 2 left. The next one is blank comic book. All right. So first, you've got 60,000 results. You're going to want to niche down, of course. However, let's just look at what we're kind of looking at here. These are great for kids. These are great for artists. You can target teens, kids, artists, girls, boys. You can different covers, things like that. Let's make sure this is independent. However, it has been around for a while. This is doing really well in all the categories that you would expect. But again, independent publishing. Let's open it up, take a look at what you're doing. You are just providing people boxes so they can make their own comics, they can do their own drawings, things like that. It is similar to the sketchbook. However, you are going to want to do a little bit of research as to what is being offered. The ones that seem to be doing the best on here are the ones that are clearly marked. You are making comic books. We're going to go back to the results. Take a look at some of these covers because you don't want to like obscure that fact. We've looked at a lot of stylized covers and things like that, but you're going to want to make sure that you are providing a very clear outline of what you're doing. Yeah, as you can see, a lot of them are really clear. You get the boxes. It makes you know that you are looking at a comic book. Something like this would do really well, no matter the audience. But you also have manga. You have, you can do comics for girls, comics for kids, things like that. But this is a great opportunity. And the last one for today is going to be similar to one that we did earlier, but it is a really good keyword. As you can see, there are all of these long tail keywords, but we are using cursive handwriting workbook just to see. Now, we have all of these options here. We only have 20,000 results right now for cursive handwriting workbook. And if you go even further down, you've got kids ages 8 to 12 comes up first. There's only 1,000 there. So niching down in this gives you even less competition to work off of, and you can dominate this category in particular. Let's look at what this, you can clearly see on all of these what we are looking at. I'm trying to find one that's not sponsored. This is not independent. So we're going to want to target one that is, we're going to want to look at one that is independent because that's going to give an idea of what other people in the same sphere are looking at. Took a second, but I did find one. This is a bestseller. This is targeting for teens. So it's a little bit more mature looking than, not as kiddie. And it's independently published. It is 1,000 in books, which is still doing really well. And then again, it is properly tagged and doing #1 in a lot of the correct categories. And you have here, it just goes letter by letter. Helps people just relearn or learn cursive for the first time. Again, you have a ton of ratings here. This is going to continue to do well. However, this doesn't mean that you can't get into the niche. It is doing well. And it doesn't have a ton of competition right now. So the sooner you get into this, the better. But there are still tons of opportunities within just about any of these niches to get started whenever you're ready. They are relatively low competition, or they have keywords that you can add on, and it will make your competition lower as you niche down on the audience. So the thing about low content is two-part. It is easy to create, no matter how, like, your skill level, your background. There are easy tutorials like the one we've made on this channel that you can use to create with Canva or other free tools. However, the fact that they're easy to make is also a negative. It comes to the numbers game. Whoever makes the most gets the most sales. So just because something is doing well today doesn't mean it will in 5 or 10 years. Somebody will come along with a better interior, better cover, and maybe they'll spend more money on ads. The more you have out there, the more you have published, the better chance you have to reach a new audience eventually. Just keep in mind, this business is not a get-rich-quick scheme. It takes work, it takes consistency, and if you're just getting started out, creating the basics can help you get those books out there. A bunch of the same interior can help you target different audiences within the same niche. You can target men, women, children, etc. Anybody that might benefit from this book. You put a different cover on it and you're targeting a new audience. In the meantime, you can focus on targeting niches like the ones we've dived into today that have a lower competition and more opportunities for success. If you're new to the whole publishing game and maybe want to look into more high content books like the ones that we publish, then make sure you check out the rest of the channel for the content we offer on here completely free. Our website and blog have even more resources for freelancers and indie publishers alike, helping you get a leg up on this new business venture, no matter what that looks like for you. If you're interested in indie publishing and want a leg up in the beginning, then make sure you check out our online course. The link is down below. We have both the full course and an ACX course, which is a little bit smaller, which are available for publishers of all types. The full course goes through a basics to masterclass look at starting your own business to scaling up as you go through the process with us. And if you have any questions, we offer an online group to share information and release new stuff as we go, made for members only, so that we can communicate and help you along the way. If this is something that interests you, then reach out, either by email or down below in the comments, or just check out the website for more information as to what the course is really like. But that is going to be all for today. If you want to see more content like this, then make sure you leave a like and subscribe down below with post notifications turned on. We have tons of resources that you're probably going to want to check out on the channel, but we're always trying new things to share with you along the way, so you'll want to stay tuned. This has been I Publish Ghostwriters, and I will see you next time.